Hi, it's Heather, and I am back with another process video. I am working on kind of a Christmas page, I guess. And what you are looking at are these big shaker pockets that I created. I am working with the Pretty Little Studio collection Winter Joy. I think the sheet on the bottom is another collection, but it matched. And what I did with the photo, I had matted it already with a couple of the cards that from the packaging that the embellishments came in. They always have really cute patterns, so I always keep them because they're great for layering behind your photos. I've die cut from them, and so don't throw anything away. I really wanted to use those transparencies. I got 3 or 4 of them, and if you're not familiar with Pretty Little Studio, their papers are actually only 8 by 8, so you have to come up with creative ways to use their papers and vellum and transparencies because like I said, they only are available in 8 by 8 size. So I have been on sort of a shaker pocket kick lately. I know that's nothing new to anybody, but I have a huge stash of sequins, and I have been using those pretty much on every project lately for the past several months, like a lot of others have been as well. But I dipped into that stash and I pulled out pinks and gold and a little bit of greens and filled them. And the pockets, you can't really tell how full they are. Right now they don't look really full, but I didn't want to fill the entire thing. It would get way too chunky, but they shake really nice. And I backed them with a piece of vellum and sewed them shut with my sewing machine. And I didn't want to sew it directly to the page because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to lay it all out. And I also backed my piece of white cardstock to another piece of cardstock that I probably won't ever use. So I just wanted to back it so when I started adding my mixed media, it wouldn't warp as much. That piece you just saw me pull out is a piece of chipboard that I've had for some time, and I was hoping to use it, but I just thought it would look too busy. I also backed my photo with a piece of paper, the gingerbread men. That's really cute. And then the paper that you see on the bottom layer it has Christmas trees. Well, not really Christmas trees, they're just trees, but that is vellum. So I liked the somewhat I'm trying to find the word, it's escaping me, translucent, but it adds a little bit of green, and I wanted to make sure I had some green in there, even though most of the page is primarily pinks and red. But my daughter in the photo is wearing a sparkly sequin red sweater, and she was just being silly. This was on Christmas Day, and she put a green bow in her hair. So it's a little hard to tell that from the video, but that's why I wanted to make sure that I included some green. So I am going through all the embellishments, and when I ordered this kit from Pretty Little Studio, I ordered, I'm pretty sure they were both from Winter Joy, but I could be wrong, but I got duplicates of a lot of those word die cuts, and I wanted to incorporate a lot of them. If you've been watching and following along my process videos, I am working on destashing my stash. So I'm just looking for ways to incorporate as much as I can, within reason, of course, on my layouts. And I'm just showing you my shaker pockets again. I was really excited about those. Again, I know shaker pockets are not anything new. People have been doing them on cards and layouts and a lot lately, but I was going for sort of a big impact with all of the sequins and sparkly things. And it's probably not going to be able to tell from the video at all, and I'm not even sure if you're able to see clearly in the still shots at the end, but you could possibly. But I also recently placed an order with Pretty Pink Posh and got a few packs of their sequins, but I got these really tiny gold hearts and silver hearts. I also included some little tiny hearts from an Etsy shop that I like to order from. It's called Dancing Quinn. I'm not sure what her actual name is, but that's the name of the shop. And she also has some really cute sequins and things there. So right now I am just working with these little flags or banner pieces. They are from a cut apart sheet from Pretty Little Studio. And so I cut all of those apart and used a couple of them. I wanted to make sure that I included the one with the gingerbread men on it to tie into the paper that I used to map my photo with. So I realized at this point, though, it already put some clear gesso on my background. And I started gluing that little cluster up at the top and realized that I still wanted to add some mixed media. So since I already glued it down, and I used that little washi strip of trees. Pretty Little Studio, they include like I don't know if it's like a 4x8 sheet of little washi strips. So I didn't want to pull it all up and risk ripping something or damaging it. So I am kind of working around it. I am using some of my shimmers. The dark pink is shimmers and the gold there is from Heidi Swap. And then I also have a light pink from Lindy's Stamp Gang. Pretty sure the dark pink is called Pretty in Pink. And I don't recall what the Lindy's Stamp Gang one is at this time. But if anybody's interested in something specific that I don't mention, please leave me a comment below and I will definitely get back to you. So I don't want to add a lot to the background because obviously with those big shaker pockets, it's already really busy and sparkly. But I did think it was necessary with those shaker pockets that I did it on white cardstock. And I will be adding another little cluster down on the right hand corner. So I just wanted to add a little bit of some gold and shades of pink. The collection, it's primarily a dark pink, but there's some hints of red. Like I don't include the paper on this layout, but there's actually a large 8x8 sheet of strips of shades of pink, kind of like the banner that I included at the top left. But that transparency that I use with the words on it, that is a red. And that I know is not from the Winter Joy collection. It's from another one, but it still matches. And her sweater is red, so I thought it was okay. It worked well for me. So I've pretty much got down the mixed media that I want. I do go back later on and add a little bit more and some splatters of green because I started with the pink because that little cluster is going to be primarily green. And obviously there's already so much pink and red with the transparencies and the sequins. But I just felt like it needed a little bit of something behind that embellishment cluster. So that's why I added more of the pink. And I think once it's all laid down, it really does... it's balanced. Obviously the layout is still primarily pink and red, but I think there's enough green spread out across the page to make it somewhat balanced. So I am now placing my shaker pockets back, and I am pretty sure that I'm about to glue them down. I just wanted to make sure that it was in the right spot. And I did not intend for them to be straight down the middle. I kind of wanted them off to be kind of off to the left side, but I glued down that embellishment cluster to the top left, and I kind of didn't leave myself any choice. So I'm trying to be very careful to make sure I have those straight. I think I even pull out my ruler just to be sure, because since it's on vellum, there is no way I'd be able to pull that back up without ripping it. And if I ripped it, all the sequins would fall out and I would have to start all over. So I was so scared to put them down, because I realized, like, once I put them down, that was it. There was no going back. And I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. It took me a very long time to not necessarily sew those pockets, but to get out all the sequins and then place them all in each pocket. And I don't have enough transparency left to start over, because like I mentioned, it only comes in 8x8s, and I probably could still do it. It wouldn't be the same size. So I did not do any of that on camera, because like I mentioned, it took a really long time for me to cut the papers and sew them and fill them. So I did all of that off camera, just for the sake of saving some video time, because this video is one of the longer ones, and I've seen even longer videos, scrapbook process videos, but didn't want to make it too much over 16 minutes. So right there, I am adding some green splatters and just covering up my photo to make sure I don't get it anywhere else. And I actually end up getting a drop on my photo, but it wasn't that big of a deal. That spray that I just used for splatters, I don't know where that came from. I know at one point I had to transfer that to a regular spray bottle because I couldn't get the nozzle to work anymore, but it was the perfect shade of green for this. So that is the strip of little washi tape strips, and they're actually thicker than washi. It's not tissue. It's kind of hard to explain, but they have such cute little patterns on them. And I hesitated to add more pattern to this, as you could probably imagine. I added one, though, to the top of the photo. It had little candy canes. And then I'm pretty sure that I added another one below the photo. I think it was a striped one. And because they're only, 3 inches wide, they fit perfectly just as a layer. I am just looking for additional little stickers, something to add in that white space. I am pulling these little star stickers, transparent stickers from Pretty Little Studio sticker sheet. And then I have some word phrase stickers as well. Tinsel Town, I think that is where that other transparency is from. Yes, that's it. That bottom one that has all the red words on it, that is the collection that it came from. So again, I pull 2 or 3 of those little phrase stickers, and I don't recall what they say, but you can definitely see it in the shots, the still shots at the end of the video. I think a couple of them were just random, so much love, and just a couple of little small phrases like that. I add one to the bottom right with my cluster of trees and gingerbread man, and I think I scatter a couple of little hearts and stars as well. And then those words, the black words on the right, I don't know at this point if I've actually glued them down. I think I have. I cut that out because I was so nervous to glue anything on top of those shaker pockets. And I didn't want to cover too much of it, but I realized I kind of still needed a title. And it's multiple words, but it works for me. I just, it's kind of all the things you think of at Christmas time during the holiday season. And I glued a star under the bright, a heart under the believe, and there's a little ornament under the blessed, and then jingle bells. There's a little music note there as well. So I think at this point I'm pretty much done. I mean, I couldn't possibly imagine adding too much more. And I think I'm actually straightening my desk at this point. I apologize. I should have cut that out. Oh, there we go. I almost feel the need to add a flare to pretty much every layout. I don't know why. It just makes it seem complete to me. And I have so many gorgeous flare pieces. That Joy is actually from Pretty Little Studio. And that little collection that you see on my desk there, that is probably a quarter of what I have in just Christmas flare. I have a whole jar of flare of just all different types. So I end up sticking that Joy one down at the bottom right with some gold thread underneath. And I just wanted to add a little bit more gold, even though there's a ton of gold in those shaker pockets, but I wanted to add a little bit more texture. A lot of the embellishments are flat, and although they're beautiful, I wanted something with a little bit more dimension. So those puffy gold hearts are from Freckled Fawn, and I love them. So that is it. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you found some inspiration in what I did, and maybe you'll create a shaker pocket again, maybe a big one. So thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Hit like and subscribe, and I will be back soon with another video. Thanks again. Have a great day.